Guys, hi, good evening. If you're tuning from Nigeria or you're tuning from anywhere part of the world, but currently 7 p.m. Nigerian time. And thank you for joining us in today's fireside session or fireside chat with Toyin. So, my guest today is a very renowned and a very exceptional customer success manager, customer success field is Aditoyin. And I'm so excited to have you here join us with us today. This is our fourth or third fireside chat, and I'm so excited to have you here. Obviously, you are really sorted out for. We saw that your profile was so interesting, and you have a wide experience in customer success in different sectors, in banking, and several years in banking, and now in your current role. We're so excited to have you here. Before we continue, my name is Stephanie. I am the co-founder of Customer Success Africa, and I'm so excited that we are here to start the next fireside chat. And I can't wait to introduce my guest here as well. So, please, can you just introduce yourself if you don't mind?
Okay, thanks for having me, Stephanie. My name is Adedipe Adetonye Wande. I'm actually like a customer professional with experience in customer service, support, and now success. And as you said, I've worked in major industries. Like I started with the banking, commercial banking industry, which is the likes of Fidelity Bank, GT Bank, which is known as GTCO now.
Yeah,
Yes, and I involved the fintech space through Prosper and Glade, which we've evolved now to Glade Finance, which is where I am right now. So it's
yeah,
basically all about the customer success.
yeah. Okay, that's really amazing. You need to go check her out on LinkedIn. I guess if you're following us on LinkedIn, you see her profile. Like her profile is amazing. She's top notch there actually. And yeah, we are so excited to have you here, as I said earlier. To go right into the program for the day. Please, can you just tell us your journey into, I would say, a customer facing role? Because obviously you didn't start off as a customer success manager, right? You started off like a customer facing role. Can you just tell us your journey into customer success?
Okay, so the journey actually started from, I believe it's more or less like a growth, because I first started with service, trying to understand how we can serve our customers. And from there, I evolved to support. Support gave me more chance to deal with the back end, like deal with the engineers. And now the success was able to like make me in line with the fact that okay, it is comprises of everything. It's actually like a wider scope, but it's more or less like you're stopping at service, or you're dealing with all, both the service, the support. So that was how I evolved into the customer success.
Oh, that's interesting. But obviously, customer success is not like something you read from school. Obviously, most of the time, majority of the time, we get to dive into the role coincidentally, or we are just introduced to it without being aware of what we are getting into. And I like the fact that you mentioned that you actually didn't even start off like that. But I think currently with the tech space now and the evolvement of tech roles in Africa, I would say customer success is now becoming like more. It's getting much recognized. I would say, but not there yet. Obviously, we want it to be there. It's getting more recognized, and I like the fact that you mentioned how you started as well. So, another question is, how would you see like a customer success role? Like where once the person come into the role, what do you expect the person to? Because our topic today is how to onboard yourself and take flight in your new sales career, right? Once someone, what's the three things that you think someone should look out for when starting a role in customer success?
Okay, so the key things they need listener is part of the things. Also, you have to be empathetic. That means you have to learn to put yourself in the shoes of your customers, because if you can't understand where their pain is from, or how to make their business a success. So it starts from there. And also the key roles is you have to be a problem solver. Like you have to be the type that puts it at the back of your mind that okay, if this issue is not solved, I'm not resting. Like so those are like the three major key roles.
Oh, three. Okay, yeah. You see, you mentioned being empathic, putting yourself in your customer's shoes, and you also mentioned being proactive because obviously, as a customer success, you need to make sure that the your customer complaints are met ASAP, and that's really very
Exactly.
important. Yeah, I like what you mentioned as well. So how can a new customer success manager quickly familiarize herself with their product and service? Obviously, I noticed that when you joined your current company, you had no idea before this call. You're telling me what your company, what you guys do, right? And
Yeah.
obviously, before you joined the company, you had no idea of um of what the product and service is about. Obviously, I
Yeah.
wouldn't expect you to just jump into the company and you know everything
Exactly.
that is to know. Obviously, when you join, so how will you guide someone who a new customer success manager get familiarized? What are the things or the tips they need to know that okay because the truth be should be told when I started my own when I started a customer success role my boss just wanted me to just understand everything SAP. Like, come on, I didn't know Jack when I started. So obviously, what are the three key things? I won't say three. Mention as many as you can that they need to familiarize yourself with when in terms of the product and services that this new company offers.
So like part of the things I did that helped me was before I joined the company, I had to do my own research. So it's key for you to do your research to understand, okay, what am I getting into? And I think another thing that helped me truthfully was my experience because I evolved from the commercial banking to the digital banking. So it's more or less like you're evolving to something new. You need to get yourself involved in it. So that was exactly what helped me. And it was something that when I got on board with the company where I am right now, it was something that helped me. So you need to do your research, you need to understand. Those are like two important things. Without doing your research and understanding, you can't familiarize with the product or services at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's interesting. As I would say, let's say for example, I've gotten to a job interview, for example, and they say something like, "Oh, I'm looking for someone who understand the health sector, right? I'm looking for someone who understand the fintech sector." And my next question would be, it was more like, okay, do you think a customer success can have knowledge of, like a customer success that works in a fintech can also work in other different sectors. Like I'm jumping into, I was a customer success manager in a fintech company, like where you work now. And
Yeah.
next thing, they gave me a new role in a health sector, or they gave me a new role in logistics, something like that, because customer service
Yeah.
can be cut across every sector. So how, like, because when they ask you such questions in an interview, like how do you, what are the things that you need to they need to know? Okay, fine, if I'm jumping from one sector to another and they ask me, how can you navigate through this new role? What are the things that you need to look out for actually?
Actually, the things you actually need to look out for, it's basically just being like know that you're all about the customer base in the sense that you're all about the success of your customer. To me, I believe it's just similar because the only thing that is different is the product and the services. But whatever you're going to do, it's just the same thing that wherever you're coming from, it's all about the customer. So it's one thing that will really help you if you are leaving the fintech space and entering the health sector. It's just the thing that is going to help you. That's just what is going to help you to understand that okay, why I'm doing basically, I'm all about the customer. So it's more or less like okay, I'm going to be doing maybe 50% of what I was doing before, dealing
Mm-hmm.
with my customers, and but I'm moving into a sector that okay, I need to learn about it. So it's just basically that.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, I that's an amazing answer. Obviously, you need to learn. You need to be
Mm-hmm.
teachable. Obviously, I remember when I started, I asked, "Is that bad?" Because I my first experience in customer success was a fintech company. I had no understanding of tech or what they're talking about. I had zero idea, and it was that bad. I had to ask what API meant. It sounds like ridiculous now, but then I was like, what is API? What does it mean? What is integrated API? And all of that. It was not a very nice question to ask, but that's a good ask any no question is stupid, right? Ask any question. That was a good answer that you gave. So my next question, there's this question I usually get from people that are starting customer success role. Um okay, I'm new to customer success. I how do I, because obviously you're getting feedback from your clients, your customers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to make your customer successful, and you need
Yeah.
to pass this feedback to your boss, to the internal team, to your head of engineering, to your well, like if you have the people, okay, your CEO, obviously, if you're the head of customer success, your CEO, or you need to pass to the head of marketing. How is the best way to communicate with your internal team and stakeholders as a customer success manager?
Okay, so the best way actually is, I believe, is the platform you use. That's another thing that can help you. I think I would prefer you use like a chat platform, which is like the likes of Slack, because it gives you more or less like a chance to just message this person like and can get a response instantly. So it's one of the things that I believe has helped the communication. Then also learning how to deal with people. Like you can't just come out straight and say,
Yeah.
I'm your manager, you should give me information. You need to, just be subtle and go, hi, Stephanie, how are you? How's the work going? How's your day? Okay, do you mind giving me an input on this? Can I get your feedback? It's more or less like I want to get a feedback from you, but I'm not coming out clear to you like I'm your manager. I deserve it. Do you understand? Because I'm just coming out to you first. So I think I believe another thing is how you relate with people would help you as well. It will really help you
Mm.
as well. The way you relate with people, the way you communicate with people, the words you use. You can't just say, I need the feedback. What about, please, I need the feedback. Or do you mind with the feedback? Thank you. And when you give the feedback, get the feedback, you can as well just say thank you. I appreciate. Do you understand? Like, some appraisal of the words to make you understand. So yes, it's part of it.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's a good answer actually. So I think for my own end, what I usually do is because I know I had that issue before, and what I usually do is I get those very bad feedbacks I get from my clients, and things like, if you don't do XYZ, I'll stop subscribing to your platform because you're using a SaaS
Yeah.
product. I'll stop subscribing to your platform, and I just did a screenshot. See, the best, because the company needs money, they need the subscription, and I need to retain my
Yeah.
customer. I need to make them happy. So what I do is
Exactly.
I screenshot the feedback. I send it to, okay, do you know what? Today, because the thing is, they need to understand that because that's the problem I have with engineering is want to build products without understanding the customer. And you build a product the customer doesn't understand. So where are you going to get the money from? No, I
Mm-hmm.
like it's not going to come from my own customer. So what I usually do, I screenshot the feedbacks. I say, okay, these are the feedbacks we're getting. If these customers' needs are not met, obviously we can't get the money, you can't get business value if my customers are not successful. So they see
Yeah.
hands on that, see, I'm under pressure and you're not giving me what I want. So that's one of the best way, because I know those tips that you mentioned, they are very important, but there's some people that can be very adamant with, I have tons of things to do, I can't answer you and all of that. Like it's not like a good
Especially the engineering
yeah,
guys. I understand
you
you.
get it. You get it. I also think like I think the more you know your onion, I would say, like, the more you understand how important your role is in terms of
Yeah.
bringing value to the company,
Exactly.
You would present it in a way that if it is not answered, it's the company's at stake. I think just pass the information like that, and I bet you they will
Mm-hmm.
listen to you, basically.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So so I wanted to ask, okay, now you join in as a new customer success manager, and I want to ask a question. What are the key tools that you need to use? Like, what are the key tools? For example, they employ you as, oh, Stephanie, come and join as a customer success manager. We have no idea of what the role is about. We do not even know what to do next. Okay, can you tell us the technologies that we need? Because I remember you mentioned Slack, right? What are the technologies that we need to help to be an effective customer success manager? Let's say you're talking to a new customer success manager that just started a new role. So what are the tools that they need to employ into the company?
Okay, so the tools they need to employ into the company to ensure that okay, your customers are, as you said, it must we must have a very good communication tools, and tools are like CRM tools. We have the likes of Fresh Decks. It's what you should be familiar with as well, because it's one of the things that helps you to track your progress, the data, everything, the reports. It also helps you to see, okay, how fast an issue was resolved, how fast was the response given. So it's part of the things you would, it is very important you should be aware of. You should be aware of how to communicate as well, because it's very key. You need to have knowledge of, how to help with the KPIs, different things. It's one of the things that you need to be able to track progress, because if you can't track the progress of your customer on how, okay, how is this person growing, how is our feature helping this person, there's no way the money will come in or the revenue. So it's part of the things you really have to be aware of. That's it.
Oh, that's interesting. And you mentioned Fresh Decks. Yeah, Fresh Decks is an amazing tool actually, and
Yeah.
getting to understanding KPIs and how to interpret it and all of that. Yeah, that's a good one as well. I will also mention things like what would I call it, hotspots, and hotspot helps with CRM as well.
Yeah.
Intercom, and if you're interested in data and then data insight, not data necessarily, data insight, you would understand the importance of intercom, because it just gives you a direct insight of how your customer. But also, what I would say is make sure that you put in the because these tools are expensive, right? They can be very pricey. But also put in the stage of your company and the kind of tools they need to use. And I feel like start small. Start from Intercom has a free platform. You can start with Intercom. You can start with Trello. Trello is free, and to
Yeah.
be able to send tax here. Trello as well.
Exactly.
You can start Slack for communication. Um,
You
there's
can
still
also
other
use
amazing.
ClickUp. ClickUp too is very good. Just
Oh
it's more or
yes,
less like Trello. It also
yeah,
helps as well to
yeah.
to progress on everything. So it's a very very good tool as well.
No, that's amazing. That's true. That's amazing as well. So I feel like because attending to your customer manually, it's not funny at all. It's it will make your work so difficult. So start with those little tools. That's why I would say before you even join in as a customer success manager to any role, you're interested in customer success as a customer success manager, make sure you explore customer success tools, CRM tools that are super useful, because
Yeah,
it's even one of the questions that you'll be asked during an interview process.
exactly. Yeah.
What are the things tools that you need? So let
Hmm.
me give an example. Let me say this question. Let's say I'm a new customer success manager joining your company, for example, and question like, what are the first six in 3 months? What are the things I need to achieve in 3, 6 and a year? What are the things I need to achieve to be successful in my career? It's more like a onboarding process. What are the things I need to achieve in 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months, something like that.
Okay, so the things you need to achieve, basically by joining, if I'm to say, okay, yeah, by joining my company,
Yeah, your
it's
company.
we're going to make you maybe more tech savvy, in the sense we're going to make you like be able to control everything on your phone, and we're going to give you the features
Mm,
that is going to help you. If you are the type that, okay, yeah, like you have a supermarket and maybe you buy things in bulk or you sell in bulk, and you're still the type that writes, maybe you're writing, like you don't need that. Why don't you get a website, link our payment platform to you? Once whoever makes the order, we send the invite instantly, invoice, sorry. So the invoice is more or less giving you the detailed description of how much you bought your thing. So it's going to help you just run your business on the go. You can be anywhere and someone is make, and again, it can make payments easy for you. We give you options on how to pay. You can use the USSD, you can use the app. It's something that will be able to tell you that. And this is what we know now. Okay, how about linking your social media as well? Because everybody is on their phone now. So it's
mm.
something that, okay, why don't you go, you know, do more ads? Because we're all about the success of your business. If you're everywhere we go to, and like, okay, I go tomorrow and I see, okay, Stephanie bag. I see tomorrow again, I'm at the mall, I see Stephanie bag. It's more or less like something that would be like a success for the company and also for the customer. So it's what are part of the strategies that will sell, that would work
Oh, okay.
by joining out. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. You just decided to sell your company. Anyways, that's fine. I just gave you the opportunity to sell your company because I wouldn't
Definitely,
say,
because you always have to be all about your
yeah,
company, like putting them
yeah,
first. So it's
yeah.
part of
So
it.
yeah, obviously, I wouldn't want you to come here and not talk about your company because I know it cannot be real that from you. So yeah, that's fine. So my next question will be: what are the common challenges or obstacles like customer success often face when they are starting a new role, and how do they overcome it? Like for example, let me just point it to you. And when you started your customer success role, what are the challenges that you faced when you started the role, and how were you
Okay,
able
so
to overcome it?
when I first started, it was quite challenging dealing with a lot of merchants at once at first. And it was more or less like, especially the engineering guys, they're very difficult people,
Hmm.
because they are
Can say that
always like,
again.
once they miss one code, it's like they're starting all over again. So they are the types that you can reach out to them and say, I need this, and they're like, ma, I'm busy right now, or okay,
Yeah,
ma, I'll do it. And 30 minutes after, your customer or your merchant is on your neck. It's still, and you reach out and like, oh, it's true, I'm coming out. 1 hour again, you're like, so it was part of the things that was very challenging. Dealing directly with the support to be able to connect with the engineers, the products, and all that. It was one of the challenges I faced. That was really, but I was able to work on it. Was I was able to build like a relationship with them.
yeah, yeah,
It's something that after work, I'm the type that will just reach out and say, okay, how was work? My oga, Nigerians, we like respect a
yeah,
lot. So it's
yeah,
something they're like, "Ah, this my manager is calling me, ma, okay, I'll do it." It was something I had to just try to understand that, okay, I know the pressure is a lot on you. Can you please, and again speak to other of their guys that, okay, why don't you delegate this to this person so that my own merchant can be happy. It's for the business, it's for the company, it's for all of us. So all those things are like what helped me, as like help me my overcome my challenges, because it was really difficult, because it was making my resolution time for issues the merchants were bringing a bit slow,
yeah,
very
yeah,
slow.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was part of it.
Oh, that's interesting. Me, I will say my own challenge was, what was my own challenge? It was enormous. It was enormous. They were more like, I didn't really understand the urgency of solving customers' issues when I
It's
started.
key. It is
Yeah,
key.
yeah.
Like
It
that
cost
is
me a lot of high churn rates. The churn rate was really high. I didn't really understand what it was. And it got to the point where my boss had to call me, Stephanie, what are you doing? I'm being honest because see, the truth is that it's not, it's one thing to get the job, the first role, but it's one thing to be able to stay in the role, right? So, and that few moments when I started, you're going to face, because now you need to understand, okay, what are the key things I need to look out for starting my role as a customer success manager? What are the things I need to, okay, first of all, what's the company's value? What do they want to get from me as my role, as a customer success manager? And how do I serve my customers? So you need, it's more like a business review in quotes, I would say. Like, you need to put yourself into the customer's shoes and your business shoes as
Exactly.
well, and be
Yeah.
able to meet it. If not, you would flop, like, sincerely speaking. And those first few months of joining the company is very crucial in how much you excel in your company. As much as going back, I think that it's more like going back to your technical team, understanding those technical terminologies. So even if you're making a statement to your boss, okay, this and this are this, they will know, okay, you know what's up, you know what you're saying. And I think
Yeah.
customer success is not just meeting customers' needs, being proactive. What are those it's more like I don't know, we not call it quality assurance. Like, you want to know exactly the issue is, how can you solve it? Like, so
Yeah.
that when you're making a statement to your boss, he knows that, okay, you know what's upstairs. And that's why there's a question where we said, how do you communicate with the internal team? Like, you need to know your onions, you need to understand how to communicate your problem so that it can
Yeah.
be answered here. So
Yes. Yes. It is.
yeah, so now another very important thing is I want to ask is, what are the key metrics, KPIs, I would say, because sometimes companies will say, did you meet your KPI for the month? When they ask you, okay, Stephanie, what's your KPI for this month? Okay, like, what are the particular KPIs that a customer success manager should focus on when joining the company newly?
Okay, so the KPI firstly must be like one of the KPIs I use is example like maybe we work with what we call tickets. It's something that you need to know on how fast you can resolve an issue and the time management because it's part of the things that help on the urgency of the resolution. So my keyword, especially what I'm known for, is the urgency of resolutions because I always ensure that it's one of the keys that I always work with. And those are like the key KPIs that help as well. You have to know how to, hands-on experience. You need to ensure that okay, how are the issues, the SLA spent, the time frame, the process of the resolution is part of what I use as well as my KPI.
So you mentioned SLA. Can you, for our audience that are new to customer service, can you explain what that means?
Okay, so for the SLA can be okay. Take for instance, an inquiry comes in, an inquiry like okay, I just want to know what your service is all about. It's more or less like an inquiry. So you can have SLA like okay, that shouldn't exceed like maybe 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, and you can have the ones that can linger for like 1 hour, some as long as a day. So it's one of the things that won't help the future of your like whatever you're doing or the company you're working for. So it's one of the things that okay, I have an inquiry. You ask about one thing, you ask about two things, I respond with three things. You understand? It's more or less one thing that would make the person inquiring your customer, okay, yes, these people can offer me this and more. So those are like what we use call as SLAs, like the time frame we were
Yeah,
given for the issue. Yeah.
yeah, okay, okay, that's fine. I think I that's a very good answer that you mentioned. I think the KPI I would mention is um understand, okay, how do I reduce um churn rates, like, how, because that's even where, even before even revenue, I need people to be on the platform. How do I reduce the rate of churn rate in my company? How do I, and first of all, you need to understand, what do the company want, first of all,
Exactly.
and mention and get to understand it first before you now start looking at for KPIs that you need to look out for. How do I onboard my customers, and how do I um how do I onboard my customers? How do I change the onboarding process? Because sometimes, how do I segment my customers, different segments of your customers? And this comes when you understand your customers, first of all.
Yeah.
How do I tackle different segments of customers? And I was having a conversation with someone recently, and the person was asking me, okay, Stephanie, you have worked with executive, what do they call it, high end customers. I'll call it executive customer. How do you handle such customers, and how do you handle these smaller customers that are bringing smaller money? Me, I personally do not feel like any customer is bigger than the other, because 10 customers are bringing 100 naira is even better than not better, but they have their place. But also you have to deal
Yeah.
with them, yeah, yeah, in a very good way as well. So how do you segment different level of customers? What are the kind of feedback? How do you manage feedback? How do you manage tickets? You mentioned ticket as well. How prompt ticket resolution? How prompt are you to solve customers' tickets? How prompt are you to solve any technical issues that you need to solve? And I feel those things are super important when you're starting off as your role as a customer success manager. My next question will be, now you've started your role as a customer success manager. What are the learning resources that you need to learn, you need to use to thrive as a customer success, or someone that's interested in customer success? What are the learning tools or resources that they need to go through and learn to be able to be successful as a customer success manager?
Okay, so you need to always be open to learning, because if you don't learn, you can't grow, and that's what I always advise. It's one of the things that I also do personally. It's one of the things that even as I speak right now, I'm doing courses by the side. It's not actually like it's compulsory, but I need it to help me grow, because where I was maybe last month or 2 months is not where I want to be this month. I don't know if you are with me. So it's more or less like you need to grow. And once you have that zeal of growth, you will definitely rise up. If you are in an organization or a company and they say, okay, if I put Stephanie on a tax, she will definitely deliver, irrespective of whatever the tax is. It's not as if you don't have work to do or you have a lot of free time on your hand, but it's because you are just the kind of person that, okay, I want to push this, I want to know about this. So it's something I always advise. It's all about growth, which I do personally. If you can take courses, learn new things, evolve, even as we are now. Tech wasn't here 5 years ago.
Yeah,
I don't think it was here in 5 years, but look at where how big it has grown. So it's more or less like you need to move, you need to grow, you need to understand that the world you are in is not where it is again. So you need to evolve. So that's
yeah,
what I would really advise. Yes,
yeah.
that's what I
That's
use.
interesting. Yeah, that's interesting because I remember the last guest that we had. She mentioned um that it's not even just about the courses that you take. Actually, she mentioned it's about putting yourself out there. See, I would say LinkedIn is a well of resources. It's a well of resources that you can learn, and it's how minute for every, okay, how do I start off as a customer? So you can learn everything. And I feel like follow key people like Customer Service Africa, follow communities like this that have amazing resources to share, real life resources to share. In as if you want to do a course, you can do Coursera. There are a lot of courses on Coursera that you do, gain sight that you can get resources from. But I feel like going for networking event, joining events like this, joining conversations like this, get to mentoring as well, get to meet people, ask questions. Anyways, one of my team, we're going to talk about the mentoring program we're having shortly. Getting mentoring, how to practically onboard yourself as a customer success manager. It boils down to, because in as much as those things that I teach, they're theoretical, but you know that somebody has gone through the process, they understand how to tackle, especially for African markets. It is different. Africans and and tech products, they are different ballgame. How do you communicate effectively? And those things can be learned not just on those courses that you do. That can be learned in different ways. Go out, network with people, communicate, send messages to people. They will answer you. Like from that session that we had till now, I've made several people that send me message on LinkedIn wanting to ask questions about customer success, and I was willing to answer, obviously, if I can. So there are a lot of platform that you can use as well. So we do have a question, and let me mention so it says, one question says, what are the basics for transitioning into customer success from sales? Any recommended courses to take from Ichoma? So what are the basics? Let me say it again. What are the basics of transitioning into customer success from sales? Are there any recommended courses? And maybe we'll mention the courses, but I think what she's trying to say, what are the basic things that you need to know from transitioning to customer success from into customer success from sales?
Okay, so when it comes to courses, we have the likes of there are a lot of courses platform that they do courses. We have the likes of Coursera, Allison courses. You know, those are like things that, and you can just focus yourself on studying more on customer success. You can study more on customer service. When you click on the options for customer service, you see the ones that will bring up a lot of options for you. It's those are the courses that has really helped. And also, if you can, it's something that I would advise. If you can learn about data analysis because it's part of the thing that helps as well, in able to drive data. Something that you can evolve even as I speak is something I'm even evolving into to know, to go wider in it. So it's something I always advise. You can do that, you can learn about it. You can learn also about a few about IT courses just to assist you with okay, what is the tech world saying now? Okay, look at it. There's everybody's using AI now because it just came from and it just started like a few months. So it's something that if you are not in the know about it, it can help you. And to be honest, chat GPT and AI is really
Mhm.
helping a lot now. So it's something that these are things you can just, get yourself familiarized with what's happening in the IT world that can help you become a better person in customer success. These are like the things as well you
Yeah,
can do.
yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, thank you very much for that. I think another thing I will add to your what you mentioned, as you mentioned, keep learning and different platforms, and be informed with the current AI that's happening. And I think there's also some transferable skills that you can use from sales to customer success. I would say customer success is kind of an advanced level of sales, should be told, because you are involved in upselling and cross-selling. And I think also it's more like relationship management. Even if you're a salesperson, you're dealing with relationship,
Yeah,
right? Relationship with your clients. So it boils down to relationship management. How do you relate with your clients, and how do you relate to the internal team as well? So another thing I will call mention is problem solving. As a salesperson, you're trying to solve a problem. You can transfer that skills as a to a customer success manager. You're solving problems for clients daily, and then super important. Like, you're not just solving the problem, you're listening attentively to what they're saying. You know exactly what they need. Sometimes customers do not know what they need, but
yeah,
when you have an idea of your product and you're putting yourself in your customer's shoes, you obviously can pass that to the internal team. So what would I call it, communicate properly with your client. These are transferable skills that are needed in customer success. They are not really you can start up as a customer success associate with these transferable skills. They are very important. And I would say conflict resolution, those are skills that you need to learn as well, that you need to transfer as well as a customer success to a customer success manager role. Yeah, join communities like this, get mentorship, get uh, follow people, keep people on LinkedIn that talk about customer success. Yeah. So I think we have another question. I So someone said, I would love to learn how to be a spontaneous person in the role of CRM, taking to fact that it will help me grow my faculty and make me exceptional. I think this question is maybe they're trying to say, how do I understand CRM platform? How do I learn how to be spontaneous person in the role of no CSM? Not I think it's CSM, not CRM. Because CRM is customer relationship management too. That's a different one. I think it's all the person trying to say is how do I be a spontaneous person in the role of CSM? That question, I don't know what the person is trying to say, but I feel maybe I don't know how to craft that question, but I feel like maybe she's talking about how do I probably get into the role or think about making me exceptional. Maybe okay, as a maybe she's now in the role. How can she be exceptional? I think basically, let me just put it as simple as that because I don't understand the first line of of the message, and so obviously you've gotten and so she has gotten the role. How can she be exceptional?
Okay, so to be exceptional is firstly you need to take charge. Like, and again, one secret I would also advise for you to do is try to be the person, the go-to person that they say, okay, if I go to Stephanie, Stephanie is definitely going to have this done.
Mm,
You have to be that person that stands out, and also you have to have a good bond relationship with your customers, because once they can trust you and say, okay, if it's not Stephanie, it's nobody. It's something that would make you stand out even in your organization. And also you be mindful of how you present. Work on your presentation, on how you speak, on how you talk, is also going to help you be outspoken, stand out, and always have a smile on your face,
mm,
irrespective of how bad your day is. Trust me, it works. And if you are the type, you can also be the type that can be jovial and just put in a little bit of jokes here and there. It's something that people would also like, okay, Stephanie, she's always laughing, she's always smiling. Even when the boss is ranting and the boss is angry, you will see her, she's always smiling and she will still drop a joke, one or two jokes to make us feel. So it's one of the things as well that once you can establish a good relationship with your colleagues, your customers, definitely is going to make you stand out. You'll be exceptional.
yeah, yeah, that's an interesting answer. That's actually correct. I think another thing I'll add is ask questions. Ask questions. How is the product used? Like, get to understand the product. Very, very important. Get to understand the product. Get to have a good relationship. I remember you mentioned you had to speak with the engineering team in a different manner so that they can answer your problems
Yeah.
faster, which is actually good. It sounds very minute, but it's very important as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
So I think another last question I will mention, and before any other question is how can you manage personal emotions being a CS customer success? So what do you do when a customer success is having a bad day on the job? That's
Okay.
interesting.
Okay. Let me use a scenario for you, if that would be okay. I remember, like, from when I used to work, especially in the bank, there's something my former boss would tell you, that if you are coming from outside, drop your emotions at the gate. Once you're on your decks, face your work. Once you're going back, you can pick it up if you want. Because I remember vividly when I lost my mom and I was at work, I was working. I was actually even in a meeting, and my sister, because she had been sick for a while, which we had known,
Mm,
but and we're getting good news and all. And immediately the message just popped. I just looked at it, and funny enough, I was presenting and the message didn't even pop on my phone because we're in a meeting. It popped on my system because my sister knew I was in a meeting. So she sent it through my official mail, and it just popped. She said, I'm sorry, mom is dead. I'm like, "Ah." And when I saw the dead, I thought maybe mom
wow.
is I just saw mom is. And to be honest, I was still presenting, but my voice started shaking, and it was more or less like I was like I knew I wasn't there, but I had to present. And because I'd been carrying my boss along on, okay, my mom is sick and everything, she could, she could sense it that, okay, why is your voice shaking? You're always outspoken, you're always on it, what's happening? But I still presented. And I remember after I just walked out, I went to the ladies and I just broke down. And after a while, people could see when I came back that, "Oh, you're always the jovial person. What's wrong with you? Why are you all quiet all of a sudden and everything?" And people could know. And she just walked up and she was like, "Okay, you have the time, you can leave the office." It's part of the emotions that could have crippled
Mm,
anybody. It's something I could have just walked out of that meeting and it would have been understood. But to be honest, I had to do my work. I was making a major presentation. So it's something that you just have to learn. It's not easy, to be honest, but what I do is, as far as you're entering your office or you're sitting on your desk, throw your emotions away. Because no customer that is losing money wants to hear that. Do you understand? Or your company wants to hear, why did you lose that contract? Why is this person disturbed? Because, example, like my CEO, he gives me some of his clients that are like close friends, and some of them he will just say, "Tom, what is happening? Why is this person messaging me? What's the problem? You're supposed to, So it's part of the things that they don't want to know or don't want to understand. Your work is your work. So it's part of the things you can just try to, and if it's too overwhelming, take a minute or two,
yeah,
walk to the
yeah,
toilet, break down, powder up again, face it again. Later in the day after your work, you can now go full square and say, okay, this is your pain. So it's just the honest, blunt truth. That's just how it is.
yeah. So obviously, it's not. That's the best thing. Go back, relax, take a minute, come back again, and put your emotions outside for personal emotions outside, but not the emotions of your clients. Yeah, personal emotions outside because obviously it's going to affect your job as well. I would say your customer is your focus at that moment. It's hard. It's really hard, especially when you have a client that is annoying. Oh, she's gone. Okay, can you?
Hear
Okay.
you, sorry.
Yeah. Especially when you have a customer that is annoying, you just know that it's not about you, it's about the customer. It's about the customer. And put that as a vocal point. And okay, it's about providing value. And I would say sometimes when you are not in the mood, give pass the conversation to someone else. I think because at that moment probably you're doing transfer aggression and you won't be able to give the customer what the customer needs. So transfer the person to someone else. That's actually a very good answer to give. So then one last question before we go. You're the head. Supposing you're the head of customer success in your current company, and they employ two new or a new customer success manager. How do you properly onboard the person in the role?
Okay. How you probably onboard the person for a role, especially if you're giving a new client, is firstly I get to know you, talk to you and everything. Then I try to cross-sell to you, like, okay, this is what we have. Also, this is what we sell. This is how our business and all. Then also to understand, okay, what is it you do about your business? And I will now use that, what you give to me, to be able to onboard and say, okay, what about trying this feature that can help your business? This is what we offer. So it's part of the things as well that you can use, that I do to onboard customers. And I also,
No,
that that's
I
like,
mean, sorry, I mean a new customer success manager, not like a
okay,
customer
the
in your
customer. Oh, okay.
yeah, customer success
um
manager role. Yeah.
okay, okay. So to onboard, I just basically guide you on, okay, what the company offers and on what you can do. Also guide you on maybe the team matrix, what we use, you know, the team matrix as well. I'll guide you then, knowing about, guiding you about, okay, these are how we communicate here, the tools we use, then a little bit of what we are all about. That's how
Mm-hmm.
what I used to onboard as well. That, okay, this is what we offer as well. And also it's part of what I used to onboard.
Oh, that's interesting. The first 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months, get to understand the stages of the company. That's amazing. Answer. Thank you very much, too. I think one last question that was just dropped out before we go to the next session is, How can someone land a customer success role? Is there an opening in your company first of all? Because obviously there's some people here that need the job. Is there like a company, an opening in your company, or how can we land this customer success role?
Yes, yes, you can. Networking too works as well. A community works as well. You know, put yourself out there into a community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then visibility works as well, especially
Mm-hmm.
on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has really helped me as a tool. It's part of the things that I really made sure that this year I invested on optimizing my LinkedIn. Always optimize your LinkedIn. It's very important. It's something that can help you as well. Your experience too is key. Experience is key. Revamp your CV. Also have a cover letter is very important because your cover letter is more or less like the introduction to what your CV or your resume stands for. So also have a very good cover letter and also make your research about the organization that aligns with your interest and career as well.
That's interesting. Yeah, thank you very much for that question. Get to know people who are in that field. Send messages, send private messages to people. Tell them you're interested in their role. I feel like another tip I will give is that GPT is an amazing tool. Go there, try to create a very good email. Obviously, edit it. Create a good email, send to people, to recruiters, and say you're interested in this role. I bet you they are going to answer you. Create a very good email, send to them. Even if you have to get their email address I think that LinkedIn sometimes you get to see recruiters email address as well. Send them personal messages you're interested. Push, be very proactive and act like a
Mhm.
customer service manager. Yeah, so yeah, that's actually an amazing time. I don't know if there's anything that you want us to know that you haven't mentioned, and you want your audience to know that you haven't mentioned, or tips that you want the audience to know. I don't know if you have any before we close up for this particular session.
I just really would like to talk about rejection.
Mm,
It's something that I would really like to advise anybody, especially because, to be honest, there's every anybody can do customer service. Anybody can do customer service. Anybody can do customer success. Even anybody can do customer support. But the honest truth is, what makes you stand out is very important. So you need to work on that, and also give room for rejections because it's bound to happen. Take your rejection as okay, what is it that I did wrong? What is it I can do better? And it's part of the thing. So I just want to encourage you ever like no matter what happens, don't feel neglected, don't feel rejected. It's part of and there are most cases we can seem and say, okay, am I a failure? No, don't think like that. It's just because you are not there yet. Like I remember, like a lot of people can say, I started my LinkedIn in 3 months. Look at where I am. Some people have been there for 2 years. Some people have been building for three
yeah,
years.
yeah,
So it's not just from today. You need to you need to build. You need to build about it and also that's one thing I would really like to leave with is don't give up and keep trying. And if you look at okay, you're not getting it, what could be the issue? Work on it. Work on yourself. You know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was so insightful, and thank you for your time here. I really, really do appreciate for your time.
Thank you for having
And
me.
we have almost 7 minutes here, so obviously we'll have you here another time to talk more. Your tips were so insightful. So our next stage is we are going to invite him. He's already here, thankfully. So he's going to be talking about because while we're talking, we mentioned about mentorship and all of that. So he's going to talk about the mentorship program we're having coming up soon and the packages that we have. So yeah, fine, you can go ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Stephanie, and well done to you, the two. I've been noting a lot of points from the insights that you've been sharing so far, and I want to believe that our audience have had a lot to learn from this session. So my name is Ifeanyi. Okay, I'm one of the co-founders of Customer Success Africa, and at CS Africa, what we do, we try to mentor, aspiring customer success professionals to help them, develop their career path in the field of customer success, share resources on what will help them improve and grow in their careers, and also to help startups here in Africa to how do I put it, to grow their success journey and make sure they can retention focused business. Somehow, from the feedback I've been seeing on the chat, I see that we still have quite a number of people who are new into the customer success space. You don't know where to start. Maybe you're an aspiring customer success professional. You don't know where to get started, what communities you need to join, how to build your CV, what you need to do in terms of a LinkedIn profile, how to apply for remote jobs. All of those things are things that we've researched, as a business, as a brand, or as a community rather, and we've discovered that there are quite a number of people who are struggling to transition into customer success. And we've also been getting feedback from our community members talking about the need for us to have more like mentorship programs to help, aspiring CS professionals, people in their mid careers, advanced customer success managers, to have a mentorship program to hold them throughout their career, their CS journey. And given those feedback and the requests, we decided to launch to kickstart our customer success mentorship program that would be going live in July. So if you are an aspiring customer success manager, you want to transition into CS, or you're at mid level, you are an advanced customer success manager, and you need more guidance, you need support. We are always here to help. We will be launching our mentorship program in July, and we'll cover stuff around your LinkedIn profile, how to know how to build that career in CS, especially as it relates to the functional roles in customer success. Like what kind of job or what kind of role do I need to apply in CS? In customer success, we have the onboarding part, we have the adoption part, we have the implementation part, we have the people part. So depending on what skill that you have, in that mentorship program would help you align your skill to what will be a good fit for you and to help you kickstart your career. So I would just like to encourage us to keep tab of our socials. We're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, we're on WhatsApp. We have a community on WhatsApp. We encourage you to try to join in or follow us on LinkedIn. So when we put out our communications around the mentorship program, please do make sure that you apply, because we're not going to be taking a lot of
Yeah.
people. It's going to be like for the selected few. So please keep tab of what's happening on our socials. We'll follow through from there. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you so much, Fine. Thank you very much for that session that we have.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you for your time. And please check out our socials. If you're not following us on our community page on WhatsApp, please ensure that you indicate, and a link will be sent to you. And follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube, because this video that we just this session that we just finished will be, you can rewatch it on YouTube as well, and on LinkedIn as well. So do follow us on all these channels, and we promise to bring you insightful resources going forward. So thank you so much, guys. I really, really, oh, we have 2 minutes left, but anyways, we can be done. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. We really, really appreciate, and thank you to the customer success team, Africa team, for this session as well. Thank you, Fine, and thank you for Grace. Grace is somewhere listening as well. Thank you so much for your time. And so we do appreciate your time with us, and we are looking forward to having you again and to have another insightful session. Thank you so much, guys. And this is a wrap, and we'll see you next month for an amazing session. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Fanny. Thank you, Stephanie, for having me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay.